back to the channel. It's time again for Papa's comic books and coffee. All right, are you ready to see who we have today? Let's see who's going to join us. Oh, look at that. Tales of the Teen Titans, number 54 from 1985. Story here is Blind Justice. This is by Marv Wolfman and Rich Buckler. Now don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. All right, hit that like button, give me a subscription, hit that subscribe button, and give me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what you want to hear. If it's in my library, I'll see what I can do for you. Let's do it. No, I don't believe it. Slade Wilson kidnapped? That man, there's no other Terminator? Don't you see what he's doing? Order, order. Gar, stop. You flipped your lid, Logan. Sit down, now. Slade Wilson, on trial for the kidnapping of Wall Street broker Samuel Abrams, settles back in his chair and smiles. For Wilson, also known as the Terminator, knows his trial is proceeding exactly as expected. Be a hothead, Logan. The Terminator thinks attack me, show them now how much the Titans hate me. I see what you're planning, but I'm not going to let you get away with murder. Negate the objection of their testimony. Logan, don't do it. You'll ruin everything. Don't stop me, Stone. Don't anyone get near me. I don't care if the Terminator didn't kill Tara personally. He's responsible for her death, just as he's guilty of trying to kill me. I want him to pay, not to go free on some stupid technicality we all know is a lie. He's the only Terminator he deserves to suffer. You are a fool, Logan, and nobody can blame me for defending myself. So defend, Wilson. Do what you oughta, what you gotta, but see how you fare against a guy who can keep changing forms, keep getting bigger and stronger and deadlier. You forget who I am, Logan, just as you forget my powers. My reflexes are faster than any ordinary man's. My strength's been chemically increased thanks to the United States Army. Teenager or tiger, I can handle anything you become. But this is a court of law. I don't want to fight you here or anywhere. Still, I can't let you kill me. Nice speech, mister. Good for the jurors and the judge, but it won't wash with me. Order now. One last chance, Logan. Cease and desist. You want me to stop, Judge? Sure. It's over. All over. Oh no, look at the red. Garfield will kill him. He won't listen to reason. Then it's up to me. Put away your lasso, Wandy. I'll stop Green Jeans my way. Forget it. I know what I'm doing. We can't count on Chase for justice. Gotta take it into our own hands. Mr. Wilson, are you hurt? My back feels like an elephant sat on it. Literally. I've had enough. No more games. Change back to human form, Gar, or you'll be answering to more than the law. Thank you, Wonder Girl. Mr. Logan, this is not a circus for the setting of one of your superhero fight scenes. This is a court of law. Judge Chase, that man and nobody else killed me if it weren't... Killed me? If it weren't for Wonder Girl's Amazon science, I'd still be dead. On top of that, he and nobody else somehow convinced a 15-year-old girl, Tara Markov, to attack the Titans, me included. Mr. Logan, I am not denying that what you say might be true, but Mr. Wilson is not on trial for your murder, and considering your presence here, that would be impossible to prove. But Mr. Wilson's trial has nothing to do with your inexcusable behavior. And despite the possible extenuating circumstances I must find you, excuse me, Judge Chase, I think I can control Logan now, but you gotta understand something. Before we captured him, the Terminator attacked all of us Titans. Wilson took us to the Hive headquarters under the ocean, and I don't want to begin telling you what they did to us. Objection, Your Honor. There is no proof that Slade Wilson is that particular Terminator. His presence here after the Titans captured him is proof enough of his complicity with Hive. Perhaps, but there has been no crime proven in that connection, which incidentally took place outside U.S. territory and is not in the province of this court to decide. Beyond that, Your Honor, the physical attack on my client brings to question any possibility of unbiased testimony by the Teen Titans. I move for an immediate dismissal based on lack of evidence and the forced capture of my client outside the United States without proper warrants. And I move that Garfield Logan be held in contempt of court for this attack. You got a pretty good case there. My own history as the vigilante comes to haunt me. What do? To punish the Titans for handling matters as brazenly puts in doubt my ability to function here. Adrian Chase deliberates for several more minutes. Then, Mr. Marco, your request for dismissal is denied. The Titans are not the state's only witness. And as far as Mr. Logan's conduct goes, because of his age, I will not hold him in contempt. However, I will also not permit him to remain here either. Mr. Logan will be asked to leave. I know what he did, but I feel bad. I feel so bad for him. Hey, so do I. But maybe this is good for him. He can't be irresponsible forever. But you know what I don't understand? Logan's not stupid, no matter how he acts. What did he hope to gain? He had to know we'd stop his attack. The great door slammed behind him, and Garfield Logan breaks into a satisfied grin. They all bought it, just like he had hoped. In court, the trial is adjourned until tomorrow. On the street, a smug Gar Logan takes to the air. The Terminator will pay for his crimes, and the Changeling will stop. We'll see to that. His name is unknown, forgotten during the months or years or centuries he was buried in that icy Alaskan cave. Now he is alone, and he is haunted by that loneliness. What was it about that woman, the one they call Lilith? Why do they keep thinking of her? It's madness, I know, but I love her, and I believe she loves me. Yet we never spoken, never truly touched, never embraced. I do not know who I am, where I am from, or why I am here, but I know my heart's calling, even as I know I cannot live without her. What do? What can I do? This is Titan's Tower, a 10-story meeting place several hundred feet away from the island of Manhattan. Blast, he's not home. He never returned. Quester says he hasn't called in either. I'm worried, Vic. Yeah, Donna. So am I. Damn you, Logan. What in hell are you doing now? Still, no sign of Garfield. Nothing. Not even a slime green fungus clinging to a wall. He'll turn up when he's ready. Maybe, but who knows what he'll do in the meantime. Gar knew what he attacked the Terminator. He'd heard our case more than help it. Gar isn't the problem. Finding that phony Terminator is. We got to prove Wilson set him up. What about Wilson's associate? What's his name? Wintergreen? Great, the butler did it. I doubt it, but it's worth checking him out. What's the problem, Dick? Wintergreen's too obvious a choice, and if Wilson anything, he's not obvious. Still, he's our only lead. You guys go ahead. I got something to do. The West Side Docks. I'm sorry I asked you to meet me here, but I was seeing my son off on his honeymoon. I assume you want to talk about Mr. Wilson? Please understand, however, I consider him not only my employer, but my dear friend. We understand, but we have a few questions. Wilson was in prison when the second Terminator appeared. I see you expect me to admit that he was my dear boy. I cannot believe you would believe such claptrap. I'm afraid that the years have taken firm hold of this body. I have neither the physique nor the stamina to engage in a prolonged battle, nor, I must admit, the desire. Those days are long gone, and though I would sacrifice my very life to help save Mr. Wilson's, I did not impersonate the Terminator. I assume you realize I cannot admit knowledge of Mr. Slade's possible past or even current activities as a wanted mercenary. But I can say neither he nor I knows who wore that uniform. One further thought from that, I hear, the Terminator at best reluctantly accepted that Hive contract. Now that it has been completed, there is no reason for him to ever meet with your group again. Perhaps it would be prudent to lay the past aside. And what? Hera, it's the Terminator. You're barking up the wrong tree. Wilson's old news. I'm the Terminator now. I did everything, so forget that old fossil. You got that? Yeah, they got it. That starbolt came a bit too close for me. Gotta keep moving and remembering everything they can do. Uh-oh, Starfire's heading this way, and she doesn't look happy. No problem, though. Just gotta concentrate, throw her aim off by a hair. That's the leeway I need. What's she doing? She keeps missing. Who is that? If you don't know, we certainly don't. Good enough, they've seen me, and they gotta be convinced by now that I'm not Slade or Wintergreen. If this doesn't spring Wilson, nothing will. So now it's time to say goodbye to all my company. No so fast. Uh-oh, Wonder Girl's lasso, not good. Not with Starfire zooming in fast. Only one chance, the power strap. Gotta pray they don't notice what's happening, or actually what's not happening. Yeah, to dodge the power bolt, she dropped the lasso, like I thought. Exhale, he's getting away. They're on my tail, no problem. I covered every contingency. All I have to do is stay in the shadows and keep Starfire from seeing me clearly. I only need to distract her for a few seconds. He's firing. Well, Terminator, you made a bad mistake. Maybe a fatal one. If I can destroy the engine, Terminator's trapped. Exhale, that explosion! But that's impossible. I didn't see enough starbolt power. The ship's gone, and the Terminator with it. He couldn't have survived. Nothing could live through that. Before you say anything, I didn't do it. I don't know why that boat exploded, but we'd better tell Steve Dayton. Why Dayton? That was his boat, and it was moored at his dock. And none of it helps explain how there's a second Terminator with Slade Wilson's abilities. Man, there are dead-end alleys everywhere I turn. Well, elsewhere. One side, Buster, you let me in right now. Lady, you can't. Son, it ain't too wise to argue with Miss Marty. When that old lady gets mad, you do as she says. Yep, just as I thought, there you are. Victor Stone, you may be twice my size and out of my solid steel, but I can still toss you over my knee and whip the daylights out of you. But don't look at me, boy. This wasn't my idea. Grandma? Now you listen here, Corky. I read those notes you were scribbling. Come home with me now. I can't, Grandma. This is the chance I've been waiting for. Excuse me, but Mr. Stone, but stuff your butts. There, Mr. Scientist. This is between me and my grandchild. No, I've already decided. It's my body. If there's a chance. Chance? Land sakes, Corky. You know what you're doing. I ain't allowing it. That's the final word. Mrs. Stone, your son created the steel body parts he placed inside Victor, but he was already working on his own improvements. We followed your son's own instructions, which will allow us to substitute Victor's steel parts for flexible human-looking plastic. Listen here, bright boy. Me and Tucker, we had 6 kids in all. Only 3 still alive. It tears me apart knowing I outlived my own flesh. And I sure as blazes don't intend to have my grandchildren pass on before me, too. You got that, Mr. Victor, Stone Hero? Listen, when Dad turned me into his living experiment, I hated him, but not as much as I hate myself. I saw how people stared at me like I was an Elephant Man's ugly brother. I got over most of that, but not all. But now there's a chance I can at least look human again. And you can be damn well sure I'm gonna go for it. We ain't done talking, Victor Stone. Sorry, Grandma, but we are. If you want to help any, give me your best. Tucker, he's hard-headed and stubborn, just like his father. It's Corky's body, and Franklin Marty, I agree with him. If there's a chance he can look like he wants to, he'd be blamed fool not to take it. It's not dangerous, Mr. Stone. It's a simple substitution of body parts, 1 for 1. There. They've had to replace parts in the past. This is just more extensive. Plastic? Huh. My grandchild deserves better than plastic. Don't you got no flesh-colored aluminum or something? Grandma, what am I going to do with you? The next day, New York Criminal Court. No, sir. I was a member a few years back, but never once of the current group. Lilith, You are a member of the Teen Titans, aren't you? Nevertheless, please tell the court what happened to you on your way to the Titans Tower. I was on the Titans barge when the Terminator appeared, attacked me, and then vanished. You're certain it was the Terminator? It was certainly someone in the Terminator uniform. No further questions, thank you. There will be 1 hour recess for lunch. Jurors are reminded not to discuss this case. 60 minutes later. Nightwing, in your opinion, can there be more than one man acting as the Terminator? Dressed as the Terminator? Yes. Acting as the Terminator? Definitely not. As a recognized expert in masked adventurers, you can say that with certainty? Pretty much so. I object. Nightwing is giving an opinion, not fact. Overruled. Nightwing was sworn in as an expert witness. How can you be so certain of your statement? Wilson received his special powers through an Army experiment. His abilities aren't natural, and therefore no ordinary man can duplicate them. I learned this from Adeline Wilson, both his Army advisor and his ex-wife. Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Wilson and her son are being questioned by Interpol in Europe and are not able to be present here. Therefore, Nightwing's testimony is based on third-person hearsay and is not admissible. Sustained. I have no further questions. Before I begin, Your Honor, I demand proof that this young man is who he says he is, namely Nightwing, leader of the New Titans. I'm sorry, sir, but I was guaranteed my rights of privacy before testifying here. In other words, we can't be positive you are indeed Nightwing, can we? Anyone could wear that costume and wear that mask and claim to be you, couldn't they? There'd hardly be any point in doing so. Nevertheless, it could be impossible for someone of your height and build to duplicate your uniform. Would it? No, it's not impossible. Just as it's possible someone other than Slade Wilson, without his abilities, disguised himself as a Terminator and kidnapped Samuel Abrams. But no further questions. The defense rests its case. Very well. We'll hear summations. Then I shall recess court while I make my decision. What's happening now? Chase is deciding against the Wilson. He's bound over for trial, and we will do all is over. They'll have to do without me. Something wrong, Lil? Just leave me alone. Lilith! Hold on. You can't just walk off without an explanation. You chased away that winged alien without any reason. I felt something. Maybe it was love. I don't know. But for some reason, I cared for him. You saw what he did to you. You saw we were saving you. Saving me, God. You don't even know why I left the Titans in the first place. It's not our fault you don't tell us. You want to know? Okay, you know, I've been searching for my past. We often talked about that. We were two peas in a pod, except you knew how you got your powers. I didn't. Sometimes what I see in my mind is so horrible, I wake up screaming at night. I didn't want to find my parents just to learn my heritage. I wanted to know why I was cursed and what I could do to stop it. I'd give up everything if only I could sleep peacefully through the night. We never knew that. How could I tell you? You could have tried, we might have been able to help. That's not all, Corey. Touch me, please. Exhale. Your skin is hot. And where's the winged man now? It wasn't him. It just happens to me. It comes suddenly without warning, then fades. I've awakened in the middle of the night to see my bed in flames. Only I'd be unhurt. You could have told us. No, because it had become whenever felt stress, when I used my powers, when I was with you, with the Titans, not the winged man. That's why I left the first time, to get away from the stress. Now I'm leaving this time because of what you did to the alien. There she is, my loved one, the one I'd give my life to hold once more. But because of what I have done to her, I can never take her in my arms again. No, for her safety, I must leave, never see her again, although she will never leave my thoughts or my heart. I'd give up the idea of ever learning my past. I helped Donna. There were clues. You knew where she was found. Now were no clues with me. You know, when I left the early Titans, I worked my way across the country, hoping I'd find some trace of my first past. but I never could. Nothing is hopeless. The Batman has proven that 1,000 times over. That's no longer the point here. And the trouble is, you're missing what's important to me. You chased away the winged man for no reason. I pleaded with you to stop, but you didn't listen. I can't let the stress keep building. I can't let the nightmares take me over. And I can't stay where my wishes are ignored. I'm leaving again. But if you care at all, don't try to find me. I can always find you. She's leaving? What can we do? Nothing, because she's right. Right? How do you see that? Well, we saw how they looked at each other. We obviously ignored their feelings. Sometimes in the name of expedience we move to the quickly and roughly, too harshly. We're so used to fighting some foe we immediately assume everyone's an enemy. We can't read someone's heart, and we can't be guided by that even if we could. We saw Lilith twice burst into flame when the winged man was near her. We did what we believed was right, and even if it wasn't, we can't brood over a mistake, not even if it's lost Lilith. Look, I'm not being cold. I care for her, but I don't want her to leave, no more than we asked Raven to vanish. But we don't own each other. If Lilith or Raven or anyone else needs time for themselves, for whatever reason, that's their business, not ours. New York Criminal Court. Cha-ching. Before I render my decision, let me make a personal statement. I am not pleased with my decision, but it was based on insufficient evidence to rule otherwise. Still, I feel a travesty of justice has been perpetrated on the citizens of New York. Slade Wilson, you admit to being the Terminator. Although not being the Terminator who kidnapped Mr. Abrams. The Terminator's crimes are well known to this court, too numerous to mention here and too difficult to prove conclusively. Although you were brought to justice beyond U.S. territorial boundaries, there is no doubt in this court's mind that you were engaged in illegal activities. I desperately wish I could sentence you myself here and now, but the law does not work that way. Instead, because as a duly appointed judge, I am sworn to uphold the laws of the state of New York, I must find for a judgment of acquittal. There is simply not sufficient evidence on hand to warrant a full jury trial. However, the law, although unable to prosecute you for the kidnapping of Samuel Abrams, does not have its hands tied and still has other means of seeing justice is done. You are being bound over for the charge of illegal possession of the firearms found in your penthouse apartment. That charge carries a 1-year mandatory sentence. I only wish it could have been 50 times that. Don't sweat it, Slade. We'll fight it. I never worry. You know your job. Wilson? Hey, kid, good fight. Only one thing you should have realized, Grayson. The Terminator never loses. As far as you go, girl, I wouldn't do anything stupid here like you usually do. Especially not toss one of those starbolts. That judge goes by the book. You act up, Mr. Andrews, and you'll be upstate doing time right beside me without having even killed anyone like I did. Take care, Titans. I hope we never have to meet again. By the way, if you ever learn who was disguised as me when your girl was attacked, let me know. I hate it when people use my name in vain. If that was me, your girl wouldn't be alive today. The East Hamptons mansion of the world's 5th richest man, Gar. I have to admit it, at long last, I love you. I always have. It's you I want. You I care about. Your children I want to bear. Come to me, Gar. Come and love me like I've never been loved before. Logan. Nuts! You stupid little jerk. Give me my Mento helmet. How dare you take that? You know its power to create images to play on the mind. You know the damage it could do. Hey, I'm sorry. I was just playing with it. Don't ever touch it again, Logan, or I'll let you know how powerful it really is. Yeah, go. I'm through with that helmet anyway. Dan Wilson's going to jail when I wanted him free. That's why I used the helmet, to create that image of Wilson attacking Lilith. I wanted him free so I could kill him for what he did. Well, prison or no, I swear the Terminator's a dead man. Dun, dun, dun. And that was Tales of the Teen Titans, number 54 from way back in 1985. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Hit that like button, give me a subscribe, tell me what you thought, leave it in the comments, okay? And as I always say,
That was easy.
until next time, Papa is out.